Boom shakalaka. What is going on, everybody? Randall here from Crypto Love, and today I have an episode for you. This is a video from the Litecoin Summit, which happened yesterday and the day before. It was pretty darn awesome. Now, this is a video where I am on a mass adoption panel. And that's kind of something that a lot of people are interested in because we all want cryptocurrencies to be worth a lot of money, but in order to be worth a lot of money, there's got to be a lot of people involved, a lot of people using them. So, this is a video that I made from the mass adoption panel. Sorry for the low video quality. However, the audio is awesome, so listen to it. Use your imagination. Obviously, it wasn't produced at a studio. It was filmed with a smartphone, and the quality is not that good. But the quality of everything else is good. I think this answers a lot of questions for people. You get to see some point of views. There's a few people on the panel, including myself, Kenn Bosak, Crypto Beadles, Cryptosomniac, Crypto Blood, and Miggity Miner. It's a good one. So check it out and enjoy. Peace.
You hear term adoption all the time, and it's thrown around by everybody. Everyone kind of has their different definition for it. Basically, I say this all the time. My mailman, my mother, my girlfriend, they learn about blockchain from YouTube. That's how they learn the cryptocurrency education. And in order for mass adoption to happen, in order for this industry to succeed, eventually everybody needs to start using blockchain. So YouTube's the front line. I'm going to give you guys a short analogy that I use all the time, and it seems to work. So if I were to put up a map of the United States in this wall, pretend there's one of those big, huge maps that you used to see in 6th grade, and I were to give Aaron Beadles over here a dart and have him stand up. You know what you're doing right now? Oh yeah. I gave you that dart. I said, I want you from there to hit New York City. I want you to hit that dart, New York City. And you were to throw that dart, where would you land?
I'd probably hit the floor, man.
Okay, so you don't land in the ocean and kill us all. You probably would land in maybe Omaha, Nebraska. In Omaha, Nebraska, when a guy is working very hard at a blue-collar job, he goes home and turns on the news, and he starts hearing words like cryptocurrency, blockchain, Ethereum. He has no idea what that means. All he knows is it's possibly a way out of poverty, which he wants. So he does the first thing that we all do. We take out our smartphones, which is mass adopted, and he Googles it. And Google's mass adopted as well. And then he has the options to read some articles, a white paper. He's not going to do any of that. He doesn't know what that means. He's going to go straight to YouTube and hear it explained to him in 5 minutes or less from a relatable person that he understands, like Kenn Bosak, like Crypto Love, like Crypto Beadles, like the Miggity Miner, like Jason Randall with Cryptosomniac, and the one and only Crypto Blood. They are very important, and I'm about to tell you just how important they are. So, without further ado, I'm going to bring up Crypto Blood.
What's up, Chuck? Minute. Okay. Thanks. Didn't know we were doing this. I would have had something prepared. What am I talking about? Huh? So me, I'm Crypto Blood from Detroit. You guys probably know I always wear the D-Town hat, but been in cryptos for about 6 years. It'll be 6 years in March of 2019, and man, it's been a journey. I've seen the community has changed a lot from when I first got into the space. It was really more about leaving the current system, the financial corruption, and really starting a new system where the banking was in our hands. And I think we're kind of getting away from that a little bit. And so that's what my whole goal is, to kind of get people to remember why we got into cryptocurrencies. And it was to really get away from the system, Inflation is something that is just robbing our wealth from us all, really, and the rich really get to benefit from this money, this cheap money at the top, and it trickles down, but by the time it gets to us, it's not worth anything. So I'm sure you guys have heard a dollar has worked, like, I think lost 99% of its value since 1932 or something like that. So it's time for a change, but we got to know why we're changing. It's not about speculation. It's not about moons and Lambos and all of that. It's about really taking the power back from fiat, from the central banks. Yeah.
Next up is the very charismatic Jason Randall of Cryptosomniac. You got a minute to say whatever you want.
I am Jason Randall. I came out of corporate. I'm a suit, as you may be able to tell, and I spent a considerable portion of my time. I've known about Bitcoin since 2008. I didn't really get involved until about 2 years ago. I got involved in Ether early, made a little bit of money, and was like, I need to know why this happened. Why I don't understand it, so I need to know why. And basically spent all of my free time from there studying, learning. Again, started on the YouTube channels and ended up, reading a white paper a day for quite some time. Decided that not only is this the future, but I had to do whatever I could do to try to help people understand what it is, help people understand what the value of it is, and so I moved into the space full time at the beginning of this year. I think a big factor in mass adoption is just going to become familiarity. On the way over here, we took a Lyft ride over here, and the cab driver was an older guy. He was 71 years old, and he was like, "Oh, what are you going to the conference center for?" And told him we were coming for the Litecoin Summit, and he's like, "Oh, I have some Bitcoin. I don't really know how it works though." Right? He was asking me, "How do I get it? How do I get it out of this wallet? How do I use it? What do I do with it?" So, obviously I didn't have time to explain it all in a cab ride, but just that kind of stuff. So people are becoming more aware, but so many people don't even still know what this is and properly understand, why it's valuable. And so that's part of what I've taken to YouTube to do.
Absolutely beautiful Miggity Miner.
How's everybody doing? My name is Matt McMillan on Miggity Miner on YouTube. I've been in crypto since about 2013 in a retail capacity, hobby miner, just on my own time. Started my channel about 7 months ago out of, again, just a hobby, and I thought it'd be fun to start a small community. Started covering a trading bot called Crypto Hopper, and was really just doing walkthrough videos on using the bot. Things grew, I remember the first week I did a video of hitting 100 subscribers, and I was excited about that. Now we're, seeing 1,000, 5,000, 6,000, building large communities, and I think for me, doing the channel, the biggest reward that I saw was when people were coming to say thank you for the content you're putting out. And so that's really just continued to drive me. A little bit of background, I come from centralized banking. So I used to work in the IT space and centralized banking, all the big banks. I think I realized that blockchain had a voice when big banks were looking for blockchain developers. I knew at that point that we were on. Officially, I went full-time 3 weeks ago with my YouTube channel, so glad to be here.
He's super humble, Robert Beadles. And it's really nice when those guys interview.
Thank you.
What's going on, Beadles? So my name is Robert Beadles, also known as Crypto Beadles. Let's see, I guess, where should I start? Christian, father, husband, been with his mom since we were 14 years old, so that's my son, Aaron, if you guys want a little shot. So, I started really young, had to, figure out a way to do more and be more, because, I was 14 years old with his mom, so I started building businesses. I built a lot of businesses, software companies, construction companies, and people, started asking me a lot of questions, especially on the software side of things, about Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all these different projects. I got into crypto, I think, around 2011 or something like that. And then by about 2017 or so, I decided to, answer a lot of the questions, help them out. So we created a YouTube channel. And then also kind of educate on the YouTube channel. We bring in all these different CEOs and founders of all these other different projects and allow them a platform to, basically talk about the projects. And we never charge, it's always free. We actually give away $100 on every single one of our episodes, so that way the people can actually participate, on my dime. And then to, kind of give back even more, we, created our own project called Monarch to try and help educate, and as well as, bring, the masses into cryptocurrency. So it's been, quite a journey. It's been a lot of fun, and yeah, been a lot of great people along the way. So that's me.
The best looking man in the room, Crypto Love.
Nice beard.
Do the dance, man. Yeah. There it is.
Boom shakalaka, what's going on, everybody? So my name is Randall, and I have a channel called Crypto Blood. And so I got into crypto in the beginning of 2017 because a friend of mine told me that Bitcoin is going to be awesome. You'll be able to retire with one Bitcoin. So I was like, this sounds cool. I'll find out more. And so my first year in crypto was awesome because it just kept going up and up and up. And I was like, man, this is freaking awesome. But August of last year, I started a YouTube channel. Basically because I didn't know what to do with the Bitcoin Bcash hard fork. And so I was trying to figure out what to do with my Bitcoin. And so I watched some YouTube videos, found some funny guys. It looked fun. I figured I'd try doing it as well. And so with YouTube, what I try and do is just educate and entertain, try and be a little bit funny. And my background, I didn't graduate high school really, but then I went to summer school, and then my parents wanted me to go to college, so I did that. And then I got a job doing computer programming for NASA, but I didn't like sitting in front of a computer all day, so I quit that and moved to France, and then became a veterinarian, and
Keep going.
He's not making this up.
I did real estate wholesaling for a while. I built an SEO company. But I was a bike mechanic for a while. I want to be a car mechanic one day. That's my goal. And, but I have a lot of fun doing YouTube, and so I really enjoy it. And just being able to give back, like that's the coolest thing about it. Like it makes me feel good because money's awesome and it's really cool. But how much stuff can you buy? What really fills me up is just being able to give back to people. So that's cool.
An interesting tidbit. I learned all of my cryptocurrency information, all my blockchain education from Crypto Love. At one point, my company hired you. She's a wonderful entrepreneur. She said, we got to get into this blockchain industry. It was something we were already doing. We were an influencer marketing agency. Around September, we were getting like 50 requests a day for crypto influencers, and it didn't exist yet because, the market hadn't been around that long. So there was only a couple out there. It was hard to tell who knew what they were talking about and who didn't. And I had to learn. And Heidi started learning her crypto information from a guy named Trayvon James. Eventually, she found Crypto Bobby, and it all turned out okay. I rotated through maybe 100. I'm not joking. I think I saw 100. And I had no knowledge of crypto whatsoever. And I'm like, I'm never going to learn this. Heidi gave me a book, told me to read a book. I threw it in my desk and I looked at it again. Now here I am to introduce him. It's amazing. I gave him a hat last night, by the way. I'm happy he's wearing it. All right. The man of the hour, the one and the only Kenn Bosak.
How goes it? I'm Kenn Bosak, not an expert. I've been in Bitcoin since 2015, and 30 days after hearing the word Bitcoin, I sold everything I owned for it. I sold my Xbox, my TV, my recliner. I went to the stores that buy your old clothes and sold all my clothes. I pretty much sold everything I owned to get into Bitcoin. I wasn't making very much at my day job, so I thought now or never, right? I didn't have a savings account because I didn't make enough money at my day job to have a savings account. So I had to spend the items I accumulated over time for Bitcoin. And most of the people I sold my belongings to was on Facebook Marketplace, which eventually 12 months later turned into most of my clients as I became as I started doing more consultations in this space. They saw my TV I sold them turn into 10 TVs in 12 months. And I still have yet to buy my TV back. I'm hodling my Bitcoin, not really watching much TV anymore. This is my 25th conference this year. I just flew in last night, Crypto Love, we were at Token Fest, and right before Token Fest, I was in Barcelona with Charlie Lee at the cruise. I'm all in on crypto, guys. I don't use fiat. I opted out of fiat, opted into crypto. I don't really hodl much. I put one Bitcoin away forever. Poof, gone, it's away. I earn and spend crypto daily, like most of you earn and spend money daily. Just my money's better than yours. That's all. Thank you.
I didn't introduce myself because I am a nobody. I am just a fan. But you caught my intro at the beginning about mass adoption. There is a little story to that. Growing up in Phoenix, Arizona, one day I came home and realized that we had lost our house and I was homeless. And the reason why is because my mother fell for a telemarketing scam to refinance her house with a guy in Sweden. And when Heidi recruited me for this project, I was very, very passionate more about into it. I realized how many people are getting scammed. Heidi yourselves only got scammed in Trayvon. Mass adoption can happen good or bad. If everyone has YouTube. Who watches YouTube? Everybody. You don't, you're alone. And if you watch the wrong people, then you mass adopt the wrong information. You'd be surprised how many people in the Midwest, which that area that Beadles accidentally hit, that their information about crypto is incorrect because they heard it from someone who gave them bad information. So we got to make sure it gets mass adopted in the right way. So my first question to start this panel is, what does mass adoption mean to you? Start with Blood.
Yeah.
Feel free to interrupt each other if you like.
Don't interrupt me.
Oh, damn.
Are you done yet?
Time's up.
Mass adoption looks like people actually using it. I saw a Litecoin candy machine out there, and it's silly, but it kind of drives home the point that, a lot of people aren't actually using cryptocurrencies. And so when I started my channel, I had a merch store I set up on my website. And this was in the height of the whole 2017 mania. You wouldn't believe how many people were like, because I only accepted cryptocurrencies on the website. They're like, can you do PayPal? How do you even use this to buy a shirt? I'm like, so you're buying cryptocurrencies, and you're not even using them, you're speculating on them. So I think the usage of the coin is what mass adoption looks like. And actually, ironically enough, mass adoption looks like a stable price. So yeah, that's what it looks like.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think also familiarity, right? Because again, going back to my anecdote from earlier, we've got the gentleman that owns a Bitcoin, $20 worth of Bitcoin rather, and has no idea how to utilize it at all. So people becoming more familiar with it, but also understanding, and I think part of that is there's got to be more options. I've got a number of employees that work for me across the globe, and I pay their salaries in Ethereum because I can pay them right now, for very cheap. And so I'm actually utilizing it in my business. There's just not enough places to go spend it. Occasionally I'll buy plane tickets with it, but you got to turn it into a gift card and then buy a
Cheapair.com. You don't have to do any of that, bro.
Really?
Straight up, cheapair.com. Hotels, car rentals, and flights.
All right, good to know.
You'll get the check later.
Click the affiliate link.
I'm interested.
But yeah, I think familiarity and just more than, as soon as grandma can use it without fear of getting scammed, right? I mean, your grandma's not gonna remember your public address, but she wants to send you $50 for your birthday or whatever. It's until it's easy enough for her to just go and send and understand it. That's what mass adoption is, in my opinion.
We're getting there. You can pay some of your employees with smart domain names from Ethereum on KennBosak.f. You can send me Ethereum right to my name.
CryptoBlood.f too.
Right on. And I also own TrevineJames.f and CraigGrant.f if you'd like to send me an F through that too.
Yeah, I echo the same thought process. Through blockchain technology being implemented into existing companies and showing the use case for how blockchain can be used. Now, I also agree that education of the masses and the ability to use Bitcoin or whatever coin you choose to make daily purchases that you're making is definitely an important factor. I just bought my wife a laptop, new and I gave Bitcoin, and it was awesome. So there's opportunities out there that we're using. I think we're so set in a mindset of fiat currency that it's just socially and culturally, we've been trained that way to use a dollar, but I think we really need to, as everybody in this room are all advocates, no matter what camp you sit in, are advocates for cryptocurrency. And I think the more we're educating the public, those of us who have a voice are educating the public on how it can be used and how it can be beneficial. My story specifically, I used to run a development firm, and one of my clients paid me in Bitcoin, and at the time I really didn't know what it was. This was back in 2013, 2014, and my immediate answer to that was to cash out the 2 Bitcoin that I was paid. Without knowing, fast forwarding to today, what that was worth. It was like $400. So my lack of education on what cryptocurrencies were, what the future could be, is an example of how I missed out. But so I think that could be an asset too.
I bought Bitcoin in 2012, and I don't know the wallet. I don't know where it's at. I just never kept up with it. It's there somewhere. I spent many sleepless nights trying to find it. No idea.
Did you check your pocket?
Can't check my pocket. Don't steal my wallet. I said don't steal my wallet.
So I think for this, there's 2 sides, right? You got blockchain and then you got cryptocurrencies. And so for mass adoption, you're gonna have something that people are using that it doesn't require them to know anything about either. So for, Facebook, for instance, I would say, people hit that thumbs up button and it just works. They don't understand the algorithm, they don't understand the protocol, they don't understand any of that stuff. But when they hit the little thumbs up button, they put a little like right there in that photo, that video, whatever, gets their thumbs up. And so it's gonna be the same thing with cryptocurrency and with blockchain. We're gonna see it, and we're not gonna know that that's what it is. And then we're gonna actually be using it, and then everybody's gonna start using it because it's better than the stuff that's out there that they're using every day. Until that happens, we'll never have mainstream adoption. It's just gonna be a bunch of guys that, are coders or evangelists or something like that. So the tech has a long way to go before, we have mass adoption. But I think we're gonna start seeing some really cool things in the space here shortly. When people are using it and don't know that they're using it.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with Beadles there. I think that when people are using it and they don't know about it, then that's gonna be mainstream. But also, I was really inspired by Kenn. A couple weeks ago, we were talking to each other in Chicago, and I found out that he does everything with cryptocurrency. And I said, I'm supposed to be some of the people follow in the cryptocurrency world, and I don't even do that. So I've been working towards that, and I noticed that there are some obstacles that come up, but I'm learning that type of stuff. And it's kind of like what Gandhi said, where he's like, be the change you want to see in the world. Well, if I want a world that has mass adoption, I need to be totally adopted myself. So that's something I'm working towards, and I think probably the more of us that take that on to actually use cryptocurrencies every day and in every situation, the sooner everybody else has to learn about it, because if they don't use it, you're talking to them about cryptos, and it gets them engaged.
Word. To me, mass adoption is the opt-in, right? Like, nobody forced anybody like my mom to make a Facebook account. She hated Facebook, but guess what? She had to eventually, because all the cool kids had one, right? I see a room full of cool kids here, and eventually your mom's gonna get Bitcoin too if she hasn't already, which I bet most of you already got your parents some for Christmas, or birthday, wedding presents, etc. To me, mass adoption is the opt-in wave we're waiting for, and it's taking place. We have Cash App opting in to accept Bitcoin, and their app that works, that always worked, they don't need Bitcoin. We have Overstock, Newegg, Cheap Air, all these things popping up and just make it not just easy, but easier than the traditional means of purchasing things like a flight. I just don't want to give you 13 things of information just to pay you for a flight. I'd rather just scan the QR code and get on with my day. And that's where it's really coming down to. People are opting into what we are doing and opting out of the traditional banking system. More people have been hurt by it than have benefited from it since its inception. We have a lot of victims that we have that are looking for outlets that really could potentially change their lives, and they're seeing people like me and all of our lives change exponentially because we chose to opt out of dollars and opt in to cryptocurrencies. And we're watching it happen with you guys attending here today. So thank you all for not watching Netflix and actually coming and hanging out and learning about crypto with us.
I just want to add one more thing really quickly. If I
Are
may.
you done yet?
Nah.
We're just getting started.
That's gonna be the running gag all.
We're just getting
I've
started.
already got it.
No, but seriously, on the other side, I own several businesses, and you have chargebacks. I've come into those, right? With cryptos, you can't have a chargeback. There's no counterparty risk there, so that's another thing.
EOS.
Huh?
No.
EOS.
No. But you can, that's the beauty, and so we can get more merchants to understand that now you don't have to worry about chargebacks. There are a lot of.
If the merchants are privileged enough to be able to use Visa, even have chargebacks be a problem, you know what I mean? That's a privileged situation that you have a business that can accept Visa, man. That must be awesome. What about the guys that don't have driver's licenses or state IDs that don't get a bank account but still want to sell lemonade and have the security of what feels like a bank account?
That's it, yeah. So there are so many things, so many benefits of cryptocurrency that many people aren't thinking about. So.
Ken, is that a Monero tattoo on your arm?
I have 6 cryptocurrency tattoos and I don't own a single Monero. I just got this sentimentally, like most of my currency tattoos are just like sentimental, but I do have a few.
So I'm actually going to use that. That's actually a form of mass adoption, in a way. When people start to come up,
This is my first Bitcoin address I ever opened ever. I took a screenshot of it, and then for the 1-year celebration of my portfolio's gains, I went out and found a guy who wanted to give me a tattoo for Bitcoin. So I gave him a whole Bitcoin, and he did this tattoo for me. That was in 2016.
Did he hold it?
Oh yeah, no, we're still friends, thank you. Yeah, he held up. He wishes he got a little bit more during Christmas, but he's happy he's holding.
But that's actually, that is a good way to mass adopt. Or maybe it's not, I don't know, but it's trying. I know that Beadles, you have a NASCAR for your company Monarch and Miggity Miner.
Go fast.
And Crypto Blood, their logos are on that NASCAR. So that's another form of mass adoption. How does that work out?
For the NASCAR?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you know, it's great advertising, it's great marketing, you know, it's cool to be able to just, you know, get new eyeballs outside of the crypto space onto crypto, right? That's part of bringing mass adoption, letting people know that there's other options out there, like Ken was talking about. So, yeah, I mean, it's, you know, if you're looking for a return on investment, it's probably not there yet, but as far as, you know, bringing new people into the space, you know, it's cool for that.
And I've been to those NASCAR events, maybe it was at one as well, and they're a lot of fun, and it's crazy, because I never got into NASCAR until we were involved with NASCAR on crypto, and you know, like, even if the cars didn't win, still when one had like a brake failure and it slammed into the wall 200 miles and drove halfway around the track, it got a lot of airtime, so there's a lot of good publicity. So if you guys want to sponsor NASCAR, cryptosomniac.com.
There seems to be a lot going on between cars and crypto recently. I just talked to a guy at the Mediterranean cruise the other day who's doing, he's just sold the Gumball Rally, Guinness World Book of Records, most cars in a rally, and he's doing a Bitcoin rally. So yeah, it might be something for you in there.
Yeah, and just on that, since we're on the NASCAR deal real quick, I mean, to give you guys an example of some of the advertisers we've had on there, it's Dragon Chain, ARC, TradingView, Monarch Token, RewardsToken.com. So there's a lot of companies that are seeing that avenue, so it's been pretty cool.
So a big part of mass adoption is knowing how you reach your audience. You said something great, Ken, about giving your grandma Bitcoin. Like, it's up to all of us a little bit to spread the love. You know your friends, you know your family, you know the best way to get them involved. If this is something that you believe in, then give them that gift. On that case, going into a little bit, you all know your audiences for your YouTube channels. You know your audience better than anyone else. It's a very, very personal relationship. Why does your audience watch you? Start with Blood. Are you done with that?
Or not. Why? I don't know. I think it's just a unique take. You know, a unique flavor that I bring to the space. I have my agenda. I do it my way. I like to have my subscribers really get engaged. You know, they can send song requests in. You know, I try to respond to every comment. And you know, that's just me. I'm really down to earth, and I just keep it straight up 100 with you. And that's how it's going to be. So I'm always looking to educate individuals with no funny stuff and just give you the real. And so that's what I do.
So my avenue was a little bit different, right? Because I actually just ended up getting put on to the channel that already existed. And that was a strange thing for me because I thought I was going there to do a lot of ops type stuff, and they were then, you know, so anyway, next thing I know, I'm on a channel, and I just found that I've built my own audience because they like me, right? They like what I say, or, you know, I'm prone to ranting. I like get wound up and start ranting, and apparently that's entertaining. So, you know, I get a lot of people that like that, and I think, like what he said, I'm just genuine, you know. If nothing else, I try to give as unbiased and honest opinions. I never hide if I'm doing sponsored content. I just try to be as straight up as possible and try to really explain why this stuff should be important to you. So.
Yeah, I think it was interesting when I started my channel because again, it was a hobby when I first started, and I think working on YouTube is actually really lonely because when you watch us on YouTube, you feel like we're talking to you, or you feel like we're interacting with you. We're just staring at a computer and a camera, and it can be a really lonely space when you're actually on YouTube. It's funny when people come up to you and they think they kind of know you, and you don't have a clue who the person is, right? But and a shout out to my subscribers as I'm streaming live right now, so shout out to everybody who's on.
Down that like button.
But I think being completely genuine, honest, and real. I think any of us that come into this space and say that we know everything or that we're super educated, that we have to have something to share and something that we feel like we can give some insight into. But I think just being really open and transparent. I always try to picture, so I'm staring at the computer, try to picture my friend who's sitting in front of me and he's asking me a question, I'm trying to explain that question to him and help him get to the next level. I always encourage anybody who, if you have this much knowledge and somebody else has this much knowledge, you have something you can share. So that's really what I try to do on my channel, is share what I know and be very open and honest when I don't know the answers to the questions that are being asked.
Right on. Yeah, so I guess the start of my channel came from, I don't know if it was laziness or just necessity of my friends, but they kept asking me the same questions over and over again. And they're like, hey, why don't you just start a YouTube channel? And I'm like, well, I don't know, that seems kind of dirty, I don't know. I know the business, I really don't want to be, sitting in front of a webcam, whatever. But I tried it, right? And so, and basically I came out right at the time where the market was at the peak, and I was explaining to people, how dangerous it is, how they could lose everything, how, what they need to set a number, and if they hit it, run, get out of the space at this point because it's very, very dangerous. Plus showing them, the basics of how to use cryptocurrency, how to use exchanges. So, just kind of all the fundamentals that people were trying to figure out, but couldn't really go to one place, to one video to kind of get all that. So I did that for my friends, and then it just kind of spiraled, right? They started wanting more. And then I started getting approached by different people in different parts of the world that, they would share their story with me. And so I decided to start giving away, free Ethereum on every one of our shows. So that $100 that I give away allows them to participate in crypto. So that way, if they need to pay for goods or services or something like that on the other side of the country or other side of the world, they're able to do that. And so what we do is we just bring, the CEOs and founders of these various companies, onto, our channel. We never ever accept any kind of, money or crypto or anything like that whatsoever. It's just unbiased. And we just let our crowd, we just let the audience decide whether this is a project that they like, they love, they hate, don't care about, whatever. And so, it's actually, done pretty well because it's just unbiased content, and then at the end, they're able to actually win $100. So it's kind of a way of trying to give back and help educate and learn with everybody at the same time.
$100 in a period, too.
$100.
So I think people watch my channel because
We love you.
it's like glorious beer. Love it
It's
too.
because of the boom shop block, personally.
It could be. I was thinking like beards or unicorns, but also boom shot, locker, lots of love, all that fun stuff. Yeah. So I think that's probably why people watch my channel. It's kind of changed a lot over the past year and some, because in the beginning I didn't know what I was doing, so I was just doing reviews and whatever I thought was necessary, a lot of tutorial stuff. But as times have changed, like during the altcoin bubble, December, January, everybody wanted like reviews and ICO stuff, so doing that. Now nobody cares about reviews or ICOs, so there's more news and interviews and things like that. So always trying to find out what it is that I can provide, and then to do that and have fun. Because I like to be, I'm very enthusiastic about cryptocurrencies, and so sharing that with people, because I was doing this before just for myself, before I got into YouTube. I was just doing it all the time anyways, so now I can share that with everyone. That's what I really enjoy doing. Thank you.
I guess for myself, I guess because around the time I got in, Bitcoin was, at its all-time high since this bubble popped from $1,100 down to under 100, and I got back in at the all-time high of $400 for a Bitcoin. I was insane, selling everything I owned for $400 Bitcoin, and it's at its all-time high since it popped. I made a few interviews. Actually, the first month I was into Bitcoin, I interviewed Andreas Antonopoulos, and then from there I've interviewed people from Charlie Lee to Trace Mayer, Amir Russick, Chris Dunn, heck, a lot, Max Crypto Blood. I've interviewed a lot of amazing people in this space. Ryan X. Charles from yours.org. I played Fortnite with Vinny Lingham. I mean, I've met a lot of people and made friends with them in this space over the years. So, I mean, a lot of the people that follow me, mostly now on Twitter, I've pretty much walked away from YouTube. If you followed me, I got hacked a while back. The hackers had access to my YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Google, Dropbox, everything. So it kind of made me not really want to put as much effort into my channel as I used to, since it was just taken from me so easily with nothing I could do. YouTube does not have a phone number for support on this. Good luck if it happens to you. I really needed luck. And I got it, got my channel back. Then I got hit with a strike for calling out a scammer who stole $20 million worth of Ethereum from people at Consensus. I uploaded it to YouTube. YouTube deemed that internet bullying and internet harassing and terrorism, so I got flagged. So I pretty much walked away from YouTube, and I would love to encourage all of you to use Steemit, DLive, BTube, BitTube, and talk about your unconfiscatable, immutable, censor-resistant money and technology on an actual platform that is what you're talking about. Thank you. Thank you. But it doesn't have Google AdSense. It doesn't have Google AdSense, so a lot of YouTubers will justify this with, but we need to hit the mainstream audience. Jason, where is that?
Yeah, that's it. I mean, I'm going to try to go and spread my.
Download everything you guys put on YouTube onto BitTube. I can help you after this 2 minutes.
Sweet, let's talk. But ultimately, I'm not opposed to. I have a Steemit account. I'm not opposed to any of that stuff. Honestly, I think that's where we need to go eventually. But unfortunately, right now, the user experience isn't there, and the people aren't there. So it's irrelevant. If I'm going and shouting, if I'm shouting at an empty room. If I'm shouting at an empty room, what's the point? Nobody's there to hear me. I'm trying to go where the people are listening.
You can put a 10-second, 20-second, 1-minute clip on YouTube and say, hey, come follow the rest of this awesome shit on Steemit.
Fair.
Thank you.
If you build it, they will come.
That's what I'm saying. If we bring this quality information to the platform, the people will come. They're not going to build a better platform and hope that you come. You go to it. Help the developers have a reason to build it better, make it better, and fix the bugs, dude. Go through the bugs with us. We are literally living in the beta of money. I am a premium expense payer of a currency that is not ready for anybody to use it. I'm paying a premium to be a bounty bug tester for Bitcoin, and so are all of us. And if you're not willing to go through all of the bugs, then you're probably just figuring out how can I make more fiat at the end of the day.
So I'm going to use that actually. So it's not just YouTube. You guys, a lot of you are known for YouTube, but I mean, mass adoption just happens for what's ever available. There's Facebook, there's Twitter, there's Steemit, there's the other 212 things that Ken just said. What do you feel is the best avenue for mass adoption? What should you be concentrating on? How should these platforms help support being able to
Well, it's not a binary thing, so you can cross publish on multiple platforms like Ken was saying. I use Bewley, I've used that, but again, it's difficult for me to use it because I have to send Ethereum, the gas, you gotta wait, MetaMask, and all that. So it's still in the very infancy, but you can cross publish. I think we should definitely all do that and just encourage. But again, like Mehmet said, people aren't on those platforms yet, so we got to get them to get over there. Ken has a good idea with doing a video and having them bounce over there that way. But yeah, I think most people are still going to be on your YouTube, your Twitter, and Facebook. So
Yeah, I think another thing, and I understand exactly what you're saying completely, Ken. But the other thing, and I understand your perspective. For the average investor in cryptocurrency, though, their goal is to turn it into fiat, which I mean, that
But to be an investor in crypto is a privileged move. You're making a profit off of people that are disenfranchised that have to adopt it and use it.
But what I'm saying is
you're
the average
a parasite.
average guy at the corporate office whose buddy says, "Hey man, you should check out Bitcoin." end goal is because you can make fiat from it, and I get that. And I think when it comes to mass adoption, we have to understand as much as deep as we are in cryptocurrency, you also have to realize that when you're talking to the normal guy, he's seeing it as another opportunity for different stuff.
Right, and he's privileged. You know, that's awesome that you get to invest in something that you don't necessarily need to make the quality of your life better. But the fact is that a lot more people do need it to make the quality of your life better, and you can invest in it to make a profit. You're privileged to do so. That doesn't make it right.
That's not what's happening.
We got a guy.
There's a lot of talk about banking to unbanked, and all I really see is a lot of people making other ways to turn cryptos into crypto so they can extract fiat. Let's be honest.
Yeah, there are a lot of people. You're right. They're probably all wearing suits with you and having dinner in fancy restaurants with you. You're in a very echo chambery environment, bro.
Love, you got some comments?
Well, I saw that guy waving at me, so I want to wave.
Yeah.
So, yeah, your question in a second.
I was just thinking.
Oh, here comes my man.
Okay, so I was just thinking while he's doing that stuff. I saw an interview with Charles Hoskinson from Cardano with Crypto Crow, where he was talking about their version for mass adoption is to going to underserved areas where they can't get banked, but also they don't have to deal with all these regulations, people dragging their feet. So they're going to Ethiopia, where coffee production is huge, and getting them on supply chain blockchains, getting them using it to where they can track everything. Everyone is using cryptocurrencies. There's no regulations they have to go through. And that way, all these big, bloated, bureaucratic countries that are dragging their feet eventually will have to adopt it because the whole rest of the world has moved on without them.
Yeah, great point. I mean, with mass adoption, I think it's first going to come, probably through the financial systems, right? So obviously, crypto is way better. But then we need social media. Social media, let's face it, that's where everybody's at, right? So Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that kind of stuff. But to do that, we have to create something that's better than Facebook. So like we used to, to your point, we use YouTube. But, like if you try to upload a video to YouTube currently, it'll crash like 9 out of 10 times trying to do it. It's frustrating. So
YouTube used to do that a lot too, though.
yeah,
Wasn't perfect out of the
work
gate.
through it. Yeah, we still have to work through this all. So, but for the mass adoption part, like we have to have better platforms than what's out there right now. So financial and then social, I think, is how we can do this.
So I got a follow-up. What would be the advice to the industry to help further mass adoption? Like you said, we need these platforms that help us do it more. And honestly, if it doesn't happen, the industry may not evolve. So
What do you mean by industry? You mean like the crypto industry?
Crypto.
Or are you talking
Yeah.
about
No.
banking?
How about both? Crypto industry and then everyone else.
Well, I just wanted to follow up with Crypto Love. I think that may actually be what actually happens is that the adoption comes from the bottom up. So it comes from the poorer countries. That's why I like no shade at Litecoin, but like Dash, Digibyte, they're really on the ground doing it, man. They're in Venezuela, they're in Brazil, they're in Argentina, where these currencies are collapsing against the dollar. So it may happen, it may be that it starts from the bottom up, and first world will be the last one.
Jason, any right?
I look forward to the day where a Bitcoin is just worth a Bitcoin and we don't care how many dollars or other, I look forward to that day, but until then, we have to find a way to bridge. The whole world's not switching to cryptocurrency tomorrow, guys. So we have to build the bridges. We have to build the ramps. And we have to find the way that it's like, what is the middle ground to start bringing the masses over to it? And maybe it is going to the small African nations and going that way. I hope so. What I fear about that is that people are going to go get them to adopt, then extract the value on the back end, and then there's, nobody uses the network or the coin, and they've just extracted the fiat value and further taken advantage of people that are already disadvantaged.
Sounds like you're talking about banks already right now, as they are.
True.
All right, let's get to the man's question. You have a mic?
I do, thanks. You're talking about mass adoption, and I didn't get into cryptos, either learning about them or having any of them, probably until February or March of this year. So,
Thanks for still being here.
no, yeah, I feel like it's a great time, so I feel good. I have a longer term view, but I really appreciate the comments. Ken, I love your comments, and frankly, dude, I admire the shit out of you.
Thank you.
Because you walk your talk, dude, and it's not easy. But here's my question, because I don't think this is a really easy thing yet. As long as you're having the fluctuations in value of crypto, as long as crypto is still being manipulated by large institutions who don't want this market running away without them, you know, it's gonna be hard to get people to massively adopt. It's like, would I use my Litecoin now at $50, $58, or do I wanna hold on till it's worth $500? You know what I mean? Like, those are kind of real world issues, right? You know, whether I get crypto or use crypto, you understand up? Is that what you're sorry about that. How do we adopt, even this whole issue you're talking about like how do you transition from YouTube to some of these other platforms, you know? Even Mike Adams at naturalnews.com started real.video so that he would get past censoring, you know? He's encouraging people to go.
So I would say it's a risk-reward ratio. Does the risk of the volatility outweigh the reward? Can you use a bank without it stealing your money? Do you have the ability to open a bank account? Then maybe it's the volatility isn't for you. For me, like I said, I'm a beta tester. I'm riding the volatility train because I opted out of fiat. So that $50, like what you're talking about, I've been earning crypto all week for the past 3 years. I get paid weekly through cryptocurrencies, Bitwage. I get paid right into Uphold directly with crypto.
But based on fiat and what that conversion rate is.
Right, exactly. And I do ride the volatility. It's just the risk of that volatility outweighs the risk of the bank saying one day, no, you can't have your money. Or no, you can't have that much money. Sorry, that's too much money for your 24-hour limit. I'd rather have the Bitcoin or crypto volatility and have the permissionlessness of it, rather than have the stability of a bank account and the risk of them not giving me $2,000 in one day at the ATM machine if I needed it.
And also with these regular fiat to crypto payments, that's one of the best investment strategies for getting the best deal, called dollar cost averaging.
Yes, sir.
It's your best way to get into any type of investment of an unknown value, some volatility. So
But also, everybody on that stage, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, owned some amount of crypto before 2017.
2015, yeah.
So your portfolios have risen significantly. It might be easier to begin adopting from that position. But we're talking mass adoption here.
Yeah, that's why I've been to 25 conferences trying to use that portfolio I've been blessed with to help people like you understand where I come from.
One of the big things too, I mean, with mass adoption, if we just have nothing but speculators out there, we're never gonna have mass adoption, we're just gonna have mass trading, right? So we need something stable. That's why so much money is being put into stable coins right now, trying to find the next one. So whether it's, you know, the Gemini brothers or whatever, there's, you know, Terra, all these different things that they're coming up with, trying to create, you know, the lack of volatility, right? The stability. Once you have that, you're able to use it in commerce without fearing it. You know, geez, that sandwich just cost me a car. You know, you know, no, it's 40,000 bitcoins for the pizza.
10,000 Bitcoin, yeah.
Exactly, right? So, you know, that's what we were going to have to figure out. We need a solid, you know, reliable, dependable, stable coin that people can use in commerce, and then I think that's going to help a lot.
You know what's funny though? It kind of made me think. Wells Fargo recently got caught opening accounts on people's behalf, stealing money from their clients, and people thought it would be a good idea to go down the street to a different bank because it's safer. You know what I mean? People still have faith in banks, bro, even though the bank has burnt them in directly and indirectly. So I don't think that we have to worry too much until they burn all of their own bridges.
Blood, we have to wrap this up. So what you're going to say, then I'm going to go into the wrap-up summary.
Are you done yet?
I'm not done.
Oh, he brought it back full circle. Give him a hand.
No, I was just gonna say that, the cryptocurrencies, I think if mass adoption is gonna be, it's gotta be a coin that has some inflation. I know I'm probably gonna get some pushback on that, but as you guys say, I'm not going to spend my Litecoin today on food if I know in 10 years it's gonna be worth something I can buy a car with. So,
but what if you don't spend it and it does? That's why it doesn't go up. Butterfly effect. If you don't spend it, it won't go up. If you don't get people using it, it won't go up.
but money is a means of transferring like value, right? So we have to transmit it, transact. So I don't know.
But how about putting everything that you have into cryptocurrency this is something that I'm working on right now. So putting everything that I have into cryptocurrency so I can use that as my system. Anything that I don't use, I'll have in the future, but putting it all in there because, you know, like Ken, I want to be able to walk.
But even if, let's just say we took away fiat today, guess what? We would have Bitcoin to Litecoin pairs, and it would be fluctuating between them. You always need a base pair to value your currency on. You get what I'm saying? So you can take fiat away, but you're still gonna have some trading pair that you need to create a perceived value on that.
All right, Jason, I'm gonna let you have the last words, I'm gonna wrap this up.
How many people out here own crypto? Just show of hands. Right. How many of you guys are just holding it through the volatility and you don't care if it goes to zero? Serious question.
To zero?
You guys are awesome. That is fantastic.
Round of applause for the audience. Thank you.
That's it.
All right, so
That was awesome.
we've heard quite a few points for mass adoption here. I heard many. One was, like Love said, take it to somewhere where it can do immediate good and change that culture and the lives of people who live there for the better. Another one is to build a platform that is more suited to sexual public, as Beadles said. Another thing is hold ourselves accountable for when things are not going the right direction or people are spreading misinformation. There were a lot of great points here, but I'm going to tell you these were troubleshooted problems from people who frankly are experts in the subjects because they are the current front lines of mass adoption. No, you're the experts in people.
And financial advisors.
No, they are experts in people and how to get people to care about something. And as I said in the beginning of the show, this panel, when your average Joe out there hears about blockchain Ethereum, whatever, and they don't know what those things mean, they will eventually, they go looking for it. They'll be at YouTube inside of a minute. So it all starts with education. And, or as you said, making a product that someone doesn't realize they're using, making a good blockchain product that the people using it, they don't realize it's blockchain. That's something I actually do, by the way, cheap pop. But, yeah, so many good things. These men on the front line, they're the front line for mass adoption, and I think I feel privileged to be able to put them on stage and to explain to you all exactly how important they are, because they're not going to do it themselves. So to wrap this up, I'm going to do what I always do. I'm going to say something nice about Kenn. He's going to say something nice about Love. He's going to go all the way to Blood there. So, Kenn, those are some sick tattoos, my man. You're definitely the best dressed, maybe not the best looking, but best dressed man in this
I think
Your passion.
that is a true compliment.
Your passion for spreading blockchain technology, not so much cryptocurrency, but the technology, and you believe it will help change the world, help change people's lives for the better, and your honesty, your passion goes out to everyone in the audience, and they'll believe you, and they'll trust you, and they'll start using it, and I say thank you for that.
Thank you. Crypto Love, that marvelous beard of yours, can I touch it? Just want to touch it. It feels so
According to
soft!
some people, if you rub my beard and my head at the same time, it makes wishes come true.
Oh, hold on. I feel lucky already. Hold on, making my wish. All right.
All right, thank you. All right, Beadles, my man. So I met Beadles at NAC3 back at the beginning of this year, but immediately I saw probably one of the most authentic, genuine, modest people I've ever met, and like just the word integrity is just something that really stands out with you, and it's kind of mind-blowing all the stuff that you've done at such a young age, and how you have a twin brother / son.
Hey, Aaron. Stand up.
Yeah, I love it.
Do the
You guys have to
dance.
watch the video to see that.
Do the dance.
Miggity, oh man, what a great guy. So, I mean, a lot of people don't know he was in law enforcement too. So, I mean, he's got, some technical, some engineering, law enforcement, I mean, a true man of the people here. So, great guy, honest, he's, just tells people, his unbiased opinions on things, and he's just a stand-up dude. And, a lot of people would be better off just listening to him and being more like him.
Appreciate that, thank you. We didn't know each other before this conference, and we've had actually some good talks. Yeah. It's been really enjoyable. I think one thing, we're kind of in the same boat as a lot of you as viewers. We don't we don't interact a lot. We'll interact maybe on Telegram or we'll communicate via chat, but we don't really know each other on a personal level. Some of us stream together and know each other in a deeper level, but it's interesting as we watch videos and form opinions on each other also, and I think I did the same thing. And meaning, we just realize when you're willing to have an open discussion, the depth of knowledge, and this guy has proven to have an extensive amount of knowledge, and just what he's doing is pretty phenomenal. So I definitely encourage you to check out his channel.
Thanks, man. I really appreciate the kind words. Thank you. Man, yeah, same like what he was saying. I did not know Crypto Blood before this. I am actually stunned by the level of intelligence. I didn't know, right? I mean, I've watched a number of YouTube channels, but there was a lot of people here that really impressed me. You know, like you're, I mean, stylish, smart. This guy's got a massive financial background, like you know, programming your own bots, like that's an impressive skill set, man. And then plus he's just a knowledgeable, real person. So I think that about everybody that I've met that's been on these panels. I'm very impressed with who they are as people.
And it's great to hear cigars.
Yeah, man.
You're gonna compliment your tree now.
Bring that full circle, bro.
So you or Kenn, which I want to say something about Kenn too, though.
Go ahead.
So Kenn, he's been on my show before. We got to get you back on. Very genuine guy, a lot of energy, and I do really think you're doing a great job with just diving all the way in with the crypto, something that I think none of us have done. You know, so you know you're really walking the talk and talking the walk, whatever you know, however you say that. But I really really admire what you're doing. Chuck. No, seriously, man, I really appreciate you just personally having me come out. I don't have a big channel like a lot of these guys, so even back when I was in New York, you had me come out for that. I think you see the talent in people, and I appreciate that. No matter how big or small, you see genuine people, and that's who you brought out to this conference. And we just appreciate you.
Are you done yet?
I am done.
Hey, everybody, follow these guys' channels. You want to get a hold of Crypto Blood? It's Crypto Blood. Nice and easy. This is Cryptosomniac, the Miggity Miner, Crypto Beadles, Crypto Blood, and Kenn Bosak. If you care about me at all, it's at cryptoinfluence.io and boosto.io. And I think Kenn actually wants to wrap something up.
Big thanks for having me, man. Thank you guys for setting this up.
Yeah, this was awesome.
Does anybody need any help setting up a wallet on their phone? Just out of curiosity, if you do, I'll be outside recreationally indulging if you want to join me.
Recreationally indulgent.
Do I have to give you my private keys?
Never. Hey, we're all gonna line up here and take a bow. Kenn, don't leave the stage yet. Oh. Come on, guys. Here's your opportunity. Thank you very much. Bad Crypto Podcast is coming up next. They're also amazing. They're big. They got kicked off of YouTube because they're too real. Stay around, listen to them. They're doing that world mass adoption.
So that car that gave a prize, I was just curious why they're honest.
Yeah, I got this.
We're gonna give it 10 more seconds.